starting here in just a few more minutes now that the rain's falling out of here. While I got the microphone, I want to see, do we have any past adopters here with us today? Any past adopters? Raise your hand. Anybody? How about over here?
You can't handle their teeth, and there's you got to handle their feet, they're not going to.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
My 6-year-old could walk up to the...
Everybody in the wild horse program has adopted a horse.
Cool.
That's great. Yeah, I thought that was a
Time's
pretty
coming.
big achievement.
Remo, time's coming.
Yeah.
Marley's open.
So, it's pretty neat.
It's only a matter of time.
It takes a lot of patience, though. I told her, I'm like, you gotta understand. He's still
Where
a
are you
little
from?
baby. Southern Illinois, like more by St. Louis, Missouri area.
All right, okay, get her mic
Yeah,
going again.
yeah, we're about an hour from Mount Vernon.
So the next horse we're going to bring out is a 2-year-old gelding. I believe he's also from 15 Mile HMA. And we are going to do some of the same things with him that we did with Peyton, but he has not had it done at all yet. So we're just going to show you guys steps for that and see how he does. You know, now we have a storm and a cooler and we have an audience, so this is all really good for him. And we will just do with him what we can based on what he gives us. The old saying I like to go by is, ride the horse you're on. So that goes with Groundwork too. Work the horse you're with. So Dayton's going to bring him out and he's going to do the same thing he did with the other little mare. He's going to pet on him, he's going to reassure him and say, hey, it's okay out here. Those people looking at you are not going to hurt you. These tarps are not going to get you. So he'll bring him out, he'll lead him around a little bit, he'll pet him.
Yeah, she barrel racing, so she had her first show about a month ago and she got first place.
Perfect. Yep, and we'll just lead him over the pole a couple times. We'll get a flag and Dayton will hit him with the flag and then we'll, like I said, we're going to kind of go on what he gives us. They get to determine sometimes like how much work this task will be. Dayton, before you flag him, you could just lead him over those. Just one more extra step before. So what Dayton's doing here is he's leading a young green horse over something new. So how he's doing that is he's walking somewhat sideways. He can see that horse all the time out of his eye. I've seen a lot of people that just lead their horse and they march on and then that horse rolls over the top of them and runs them over because they aren't even watching it. So if you're leading a young green horse, it's a really good idea to keep an eye on them and see where they're at. Good boy. So here, he's a little bit lazier than the mare we had out, which is okay. It just means it might take him a little bit longer to figure out he needs to pick up his feet. And he does not seem to care at all. He's going right over him. Little drills like this where you lead a horse over something new, a bridge, a tarp, a pole, it all sets them up for later when you try to lead them in a trailer. Because when you lead a horse into a trailer, essentially all you're doing is it's a new obstacle. So you have a young horse and you lead it over multiple obstacles going in a trailer, it really isn't such a big deal. Good, now we can get our flag and kind of pet up with the flag. So here he already is like a little more concerned about the flag than the last horse, which is okay. You kind of expect them to be when they come down here. When you have a horse at home and you work it and you have a routine, you do it every day, when you go to a new event, a show, anything, you get a fraction of what you had at home. They're never 100% at a new event. So that's why you have a routine when you're at home that you go through. You pet them, flag them. So then when you go to a new place, you can go back to their routine they know, and it helps them settle in easier, gives them some comfort, some reassurance, because it's the same routine you do in a place they're comfortable. So now he's remembering, oh yes, I've had this done. Lots of petting in between. The petting is their reassurance again. I tell them, hey, everything's okay, I'm still your buddy. And again, what Dayton's doing this whole time is he's keeping an eye on the horse, not only where his face is, but where his legs are. You know, you're not going to flag a horse and want to drop your cell phone or drop something next to him when you're doing this with a young green horse. You want to pay attention to where they're at, their feet are at, where their face is at, and that's so you don't get kicked and you don't get bit. Good. So he'll bring him out here in the open a little more, and then we'll start working on moving his feet. And again, if you can start at a walk and you can get him to walk in a circle, great. If they take off at a trot, though, you don't have to get too upset about it and try to shut him down. Because he's trotting nicely here, he's got his head in, he's not trying to drag Dayton across the round pen. Good boy. Good. He'll stop here, he'll pet him, he'll change direction. So first step there is Dayton puts his arm out straight. He's essentially pointing in the direction he wants the horse to go. That's the first step. Second thing he did is he clucked at him. The horse still didn't want to move, so then he shook his flag a little bit. Get out of your way so I'm not putting pressure on both ends here. Good boy. Good. And once Dayton can get his feet freed up and he can move around pretty nice, then we'll just start working on the poles. And we don't expect him to go trot every single pole perfectly the first time. It's all new. The goal is to not let him drive by them. If you're asking him to go over them, he needs to go over them. Not saying that always happens, but you got to have goals when you're asking something. So Dayton's going to have to put his body in the right spot to get him to go over. Good boy. And then he'll stop him here and pat him. He was pretty proud of himself there. He thought that was pretty cool. Good boy. Good. And he's going to do the same thing the little Pinot Mare did, is he's going to start hunting those poles. If you stop them, reward them, and pet them after they do what you're asking, they will start looking for what you're asking. Good boy. Very nice. Yahoo! He likes that. That's pretty cool. So this horse, because of that, this is a great exercise for him. Because when we put this up to a jump, I would go ahead and bet when he jumps a little X, he's going to probably buck on the landing side. They do that a lot, even if you're on them. So let's just go over that again one more time, and then I'll start putting it up. So again, if you have a young horse that, will hop around a little bit when you put a saddle on, oh, good boy, oh yeah, because I like this. So if you have one that kind of hops around when you saddle it, wants to buck a little bit, you can set this up. They still got to use their brains. They got to see where their feet are. If they buck on the landing side, you can just keep pushing them around, and then they got to come back and they got to know where their feet are and what they're doing. So chances are they're not going to buck over the jump again, because they don't want to fall down. Move these out again a little bit, so he has room to fit in there. These poles also help set them up to put their feet in this spot. And Dave's just going to go back to do the exact same thing he was doing once I get out of the way. And Dayton, same thing. He's going to keep his lead rope nice and loose when he goes over. He's not going to pull on his face. Woohoo! Ah, see right there. Perfect. He wanted to hop around and buck a little bit. He quit right when he had to go over a pole, because he had to pay attention to his feet and where they were. Good boy. Good boy. Good. So then now next time you go, see if you can get him to lope away a little further. Just because he needs that, so then he doesn't think about like, oh, I should hop around and... Like, actually your job is just to land and go somewhere. Good boy. Good. Yeah, beautiful. Perfect. Good. Let's do that the other direction. So see how much smoother it was that time when he landed and just kept loping off? Ah, wow, I didn't pick my feet up. Alright, let him stop a second, I'm going to put it up. And I bet this time he'll pick his feet up. We're going to make it a little bigger for them. Then you have to work a little harder. The other thing I like about these kind of exercises is the horse has to work a lot harder than you do, which is always nice. Alright, let's try that. Let's see how we do. Let me see if I can steer him over here on the fence again. Good boy. Oh, this hole looks bigger. Come right back to it that time. Pluck at the pole. Being lazy. Oh, that was the lead rope spot that time. So he's the opposite of the little pinto mare we just had out. This is his tougher direction. As where for her it was coming the other way. So that's all we're seeing here is that he's just having a little bit harder time wanting to pick up his feet this way, which is strange because normally going towards the gate, they all are a lot more willing to go. So we're just going to try to smooth that out real quick, and then we'll put a saddle on him, and we're going to do the same thing with the saddle on. So then we're preparing him for the next step, which will be to have a rider on also.
It'll touch down and disappear.
Does anyone have any questions or anything? No?
Her parents came the first time. They were sitting in the house.
Good boy. There you go. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. Good. Good. Now let him come into you, pet him, pet him, pet him, pet him, and then let's hear him saddle. And we'll do the same thing. And for him with the saddle, I'm not going to drop it completely back down to the ground. I'm just going to, we'll just go back to this side. I might make my X a little bit smaller. But this little horse has bucked a few times under saddle. Mostly just when you first saddle him, not necessarily with a rider, but definitely with the saddle a few times he's done it. So I'm really curious to see what he does today when he's got something else to think about. So you guys can see how Dayton saddles in here. He's going to take his time. He's going to pet him in between steps. If he moves off, tries to walk away when he's trying to put the saddle on, Dayton's going to correct him because we want our horses to stand still when they're saddled. And once he's saddled, we're gonna go back and do just a little warm up out here. We're not gonna just saddle him and then be like, oh, go run at the pole on the ground. We're not gonna do that to him. But for a nice little 2-year-old, this horse is doing pretty darn good. If anyone asks me what my favorite horse was here, I would tell you it's this one because it is. I think maybe it's because I have a thing for bays, but either way, I really like him. He's very sweet. He's standing real nice for Dayton. There is space coming around. He just wants to kind of check out and see what Dayton's doing. But Dayton's going to stay on guard because it is a young green horse. He's not going to take his eyes off of him because he doesn't want to get bit. Because these little young horses, it's just like they do to the other horses in the pasture. They kind of nip at each other to see, like, are you the boss or am I? And it's not beyond these young guys to do that to you too. So just something else to be aware of when you're working with young green horses. He got a little nervous there. Dayton let him move around. Brought him right back. Petted him to reassure him. We can't physically make a horse stand still. We have to teach them that that's the right answer. We ride a lot of different size horses, so Dayton's just adjusting his brush collar there, which is good for these guys if they have to sit and be patient and wait for us to do things on both sides of them.
And folks, while Dayton's getting that horse saddled up, I'll just let you know that this is horse number 3539. His name is Apache, 2-year-old bay mare. Obviously, saddle started, as you can see.
Gelding, yeah, big gelding.
Gelding, sorry.
One of the
From
few.
the
We don't
50
have
mile.
very many here. One of the few geldings. We don't have very many here.
Yeah. Apache's from the 15-mile HMA. It's a little over 14 hands.
Yep, I just warm him up slow, lead him around. Good boy. And then I would flag him like over here, just drive him around again a little bit, get his feet moving, and then we'll work on adding more to that. So again, Dayton's not pulling on his face here, he's letting him go. Now if this little horse is going to try to run off and drag him around, Dayton would work on tipping that nose in, but he's being really good. He's already hunting our poles. Here he says, I'm going to go do my job. They showed me this is my job, I'm going to go over there. Good boy. Perfect. So first step there, he pointed, then he clucked. Apache started moving. We'll take a walk for now. Same thing when we want to pick up a trot. So cluck at him. We're not going to roll in the sand. Good. And then whenever you feel like you're ready, Dayton, we'll just go right back to our poles. Same thing like when you were riding the other one, think of getting him to land in a lope and leave. He trots in, but he lands and goes somewhere. I bet he's gonna go right down there. Yay! Good boy. Very nice. Head in, we'll go the other way, and I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger. Good boy, very good. Bring him in, pet him. So if I'm not mistaken, Dayton, this is a horse that has bucked during a warm-up quite a few times, right? Not today. We got his brains working, we got his feet moving. He has more, bigger, better things to worry about than bucking around this round pen. He says, I have a new job and I think I kind of like it. I'll be out of your way again. Good boy. Good, go right back to it. So you're getting him to land and lope away. Very good, that's all right, we don't care. I can put it back up. Good boy. Alright. Get out of your way again. We're just going to try to smooth it out each direction. And then we'll just work on something else with him. Good. That's alright. Go again, right back to it. Sorry, I just pulled it open. Start chop, chop. Good boy, yeah. Head in for that one. I might let him be done with that. That was nice. That's what we got with the other one. So then now what we'll do is you just put your flag away. We'll work on standing in the stirrups, just back to that kind of drill. Just to change it up for him. And he gets to be done with that, because this is something new we threw it. He figured it out, he did it well. He landed, he loped away, just like, that's what I want when I ride him over a jump, or if I jump a creek, a ditch, anything. I want him to land and lope away. I don't want him to land and buck me off. So, nice smooth transitions there that they got to do on their own. It wasn't a big deal, we didn't have to chase him into it. Good boy. So now we'll just go back to something he knows, work on this. You want to ride him? If he's good with all this, just get on and we'll go in a couple circles and we'll let him be done.
That's what
No, he's gonna go for it though. I just wanted to make sure I was out of your way so you know we got the shot here.
Alright, put him there. Good boy. Good, 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 good. Yep, step down. Good boy. Pet him, pet him, pet him. So the reason I asked Dayton if he wanted to ride him is that Brian usually trains half the horses, Dayton trains half the horses, so they usually don't ride each other's horses. So, but we're here, we're doing it, we'll see what happens. Like I said, he doesn't have to, as long as it's not technically the horse that he's been working with. Even though he's been doing a great job with him. Good, perfect. And then just pet him again. Pet him right there. Okay. I can get a flag and see if we need to. Yep, just turn in there. Good boy. Yep, perfect. We got helicopters down here, we got tarps going. We got all kinds of things going on. Good boy. I'll come push it. He's doing better now, but if he gets stuck, I'll come help you. Good boy. And this is kind of demonstrating what we do for our first ride on a horse. Is he'll have one rein like that. We'll go in some circles. We push him. A lot of times, you know, someone will be in the middle with a flag to help reinforce the clucking to go forward. This horse knows it. Good boy. Good, perfect. And so again, this is back to that one rein stop. If Dayton wants him to slow down, he just picks up on his nose. Perfect. Now he can work the other way. Good. Yep. He might take you that jump on his own. He seemed to like it. We could tie your rope and do it. He's fine. He did good today. He's perfect. Good boy. Bring him around, ask him to trot a little bit. Trot, trot. Trot, trot. Good boy. Oh, look at that nice little jog. Good boy. Right. Good. You got spook there. Dayton can tip his nose in, shut him down a little bit. Good boy. Same thing here. He's going to bring him in. Pet him, pet him, pet him. Stop in the middle. Pet him, pet him, pet him. Good. Perfect. I call it good. So what Dayton's doing there is he's going to get off on that left side, so he wants his lead rope on the left side also. So when he steps down, if the horse spooks, he doesn't get all tangled up in the rope. Good. Pet him, pet him. Nice job. Well, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know. I'm pretty proud of these horses today. I love doing this kind of stuff, so I get probably more excited than the horses do. So let us know if you have any questions. We'll be hanging around here. If you are interested in adopting, please come fill out an application over here. Our auction is at 5 o'clock on the 30th. So if you are not in the position to adopt a horse, tell your friends. Maybe you know someone who is.
You make my job easy. All right, folks, thanks for coming. Once again, that was Dayton, was the rider. We got Katie presenting. And of course, star of the show there is Apache. That's horse number 3539. As Katie mentioned, we will be around. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you're interested in adopting an animal, right behind me, this yellow tent is where you need to stop. Thanks again. We'll be doing another demonstration tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. So I hope to see you there. Thanks, folks.